Canon snuck in a quick one on me last week with this update. Let's talk about the R6's 1.4 firmware update. Let's do it. Well, hello my friends, I hope you are doing well. My name is Tony and I'm a filmmaker, photographer in the St. Louis area. I have both the R5 and the R6 and I love these cameras. It's hard to believe these are not even 1 year old and Canon has released some great firmware updates, and this one for the R6 is a really good one. Now, some of the firmwares in the past have improved features like autofocus and added a couple new tweaks, but this one, this is something that a lot of people have been asking for the R6, one of which is Clog3. If you're not familiar with log, there's multiple types of log, just like there's picture profiles, and Clog3 adds just a little bit extra dynamic range, and it looks just a little bit different. So it's really nice that that's in this R6. They added it to the R5 a couple months ago, and I did not think that they were going to add it to the R6, with this being like one step lower. If you think back, some of the other like 6D series cameras, they didn't even have log. They didn't have any of the features that some of the pro level DSLRs have. So Canon is doing a really good job supporting this R6. The other thing that they added with this one is the dual card slot recording for video, which is a big deal because there's a lot of people that really want to have that redundancy, that safety net of having a secondary SD card already in camera ready to go in case something happens to that first one. Now, me personally, the only time I've ever had SD cards fail is with like Sony cameras. I mean, they're just unstable cameras. That's one of the reasons why I love Canon. I never have any problems with my SD cards in Canon cameras. Not to say that it's impossible, but it does happen. But for me personally, I replace my SD cards pretty frequently, and I use pretty good ones. I use the SanDisk Extreme Pros, and so I never really have trouble with my SD cards, but I know that this is a hang up for a lot of people, and so adding this functionality to the R6 is a big deal. We'll see if it comes to the R5 because they have CF Express Type B and an SD card, and so I could see that being a little bit more tricky, and we'll see if it comes to the R5, but for the R6, very cool, very cool. So the other thing that this does is it adds a couple more support for some lenses and also a couple small bugs that may or may not affect you. But very good. I love the fact that Canon is continuously just putting out more and more firmware updates for these cameras to make them better and better. So to go through the firmware update, if you've never done this, all you have to do is you can type it in your Google search bar or just go to Canon's website, R6 firmware update, and it will take you to Canon's R6 page. You scroll down, you see the drivers, and then you just select 1.4, and that will give you a description of what's in that, and if you need to upgrade to a new firmware before, which I don't think you do. So just go ahead, download that file, stick it on a blank SD card, and then stick it in the back of your camera and hit firmware update, and it'll just do the rest. So pretty simple. One of these days, maybe they'll add wireless firmware updates to these cameras, and that will take care of some of having to use a computer for that. But until then, we will use the SD card and it will be just fine. Now, my experience so far with 1.4 has been pretty good. I have not used the dual card functionality, but I have played around a little bit with Clog3, and I must say that on the R6, it's a lot more user-friendly than the R5. And the reason why is that with the R5, I struggle with the fact when you're using View Assist with C-Log, the image is way blown out when you're exposed properly. With the R6, I think that they fixed this, and it's much more usable to use that View Assist. In fact, with the R5, if I'm shooting in Clog3, I actually have to turn the View Assist off and just go off of the kind of the grayscale. And without any View Assist, which isn't a problem. I'm not opposed to just looking at log footage, but it's nice to have some of that contrast and saturation built in with the view assist. I've noticed with the R6 it looks a lot better, and you're going to get a lot better footage with your untrained eye. So go ahead, update, try it out, see if it works for you. Now, if you have never ever used log, I encourage you to do it because it's really going to let you maximize the potential of the video of your camera. If you're shooting in picture profiles, you're just not going to have that dynamic range. It's not going to have that look and flexibility in post-processing that you will have with log. If this is something that you're scared about, maybe you've got a company and you've always shot in picture profiles and you're ready to take that next step, feel free to reach out to me. Believe it or not, I offer some consultation. I'm working with a couple different companies right now where I help them kind of switch from picture profiles over to shooting in log. I'm working with a wedding company right now. I'm also working with a church that's kind of stepping up their quality. And so lots of things kind of happening. That is something that you can do. Reach out to me at my website, TonyMellinger.com, and fill out the contact me form. And we can talk about rates and how that all works. And I can help you kind of step up the quality of your videos. All right, guys. Well, just for firmware update, we are going to keep going. But I encourage you, use your camera to the maximum potential. And I will see you in the next video. Make sure to subscribe for all sorts of camera stuff, especially Canon. Make sure to like and leave a comment, all that YouTube stuff. All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you soon.